all the shares are dropping, but these shares are booming. But what are affected? What other industries are affected? Those industries like travel, hotel, restaurant, and retail, or even gyms, they are really, really very bad affected. Because most of you are working from home, you can't travel. There are more and more self-developed chefs at home, more athletes built from home. 20 years ago, we wish that cars can fly. But in year 2020, even aeroplanes cannot fly. Who can expect that? So let's move on. This is the research from 451 research. This research is about 5 months old, but it tells the same story. In March, 65% of respondents had work from home in place. And in June, 80% had it in place. And in March, only 38% thought or expected it to remain long-term or permanently. And now in June, much higher, it's like 67%. So what does work from home policy increase brought to us in IT? It's a strain. The strain in IT resources is broader than anticipated. So what will the extra strain on IT infra means? Everyone is heavily relying on technologies. So more budget will be allocated to this IT infrastructure. More spending to enhance your IT infra and security. How can you capture and ride on these trends, or how can you utilize technology to help you better manage your infrastructure? And here it comes to the problems that COVID-19 has introduced to us in the past 8 months. So who has the solution and who will lead the market? Like Zoom, we are all using Zoom right now, right? We'll see that lesser and lesser people on site mostly are remotely managing their infrastructure or their systems. With the extra strain on the IT or the equipment, it will increase the risk of failure and even outages. If something broke down, it will need longer time to repair. This is very normal. Everyone will understand this, right? And it also brought us challenges on planning and rolling out new infrastructure and services because you don't have enough IT human resources and you don't have enough correct information or the right information of your environment to plan for the right resources. Zoom bombing. I believe most of you know about this problem. When Zoom came out in this pandemic period, everyone using it, and they come with security issue as well, some loopholes. So you need to take some precaution or prevention, like using a waiting room, using virtual background so no one can see your background, turn off or cover your camera when you don't need it. Something we need to be very careful is that technology is here to help, but it also brought security loopholes. And then you will need another solution like firewalls or other antivirus to cover that loopholes. It is like when you're sick, you take medicines, and that medicines brought you negative effects. Then you need another medicine to cover your negative effects. So you need to be very careful when choosing the right medicines or choosing the right management tool or software to help you manage your data centers, to help you manage your infrastructure. So next, we'll talk about the emergence of key technology trends, practices, and considerations. What should you consider and study before you go to the market and shop for the right tool for managing your infrastructure? It takes a very long time to study what is there in the market and who is the best, or if you have enough budget for the right tool. These are the hardware and software that you will need to consider when planning for remotely managing your infrastructure. So I'll be focusing more on the software portion. So there are many tools that you need to perform and monitor your management or your infrastructure. Example, your IT system monitoring, network monitoring, BMS stands for Building Management System, EPMS, Electrical Power Management System, and then DCIM, Data Center Infrastructure Management Solution. So these systems always combined and confused by a lot of the price. They thought one can cover each other. They thought one can integrate everything. But in fact, most of the time, each of these systems is not here to replace another, but they complement each other. Why I say so, I'll move on to show you more later on. Okay, in terms of remote operations management, these are some areas that you should be considering in order to help you with the right decision, performing the right tasks at the right timing. For example, how do you plan remotely if you don't have the correct information of your data center? How do you plan for expansion if you don't know whether you have enough racks, enough RUs for your assets? Or do you have enough power for your new server? Or do you have enough RJ45 ports, LC ports for your new asset to hook on? What are the distance between your racks and what is the length of your patch cords that you need? Or even go down to, do you have enough RAM, enough hard disk, or enough tapes drive as an inventory for replacement and upgrades? So you need a tool to help you to keep track of all this. Or even if you talk about work orders and remote hands, then you do have any workflow processes in place? Have you implemented any workflow in place for managing your data centers? Who can perform what in what time? And who should be the one who approve the tasks? And who will check what are the tasks and has it been done properly? So these are the questions that you may need to ask before you take any actions. So with that, it may be too dry. Let me show a quick glimpse of how capacity management should be done in just 2 minutes video. Okay, so if you have more sites or more racks in your data center, the more you need a proper management tool to give you the right information that you need when you do remote management. So, and after you get all the information that you need to expand or plan for your next deployment, next is to engage your remote hands to perform the task. These are some key areas that you may consider when engaging remote hands. Let's leave aside if your remote hands has the right skills, because I don't think there's any software can manage that. But the rest, you should take a look at, can they follow your processes? Do you have the right processes? Or if you haven't implemented any procedure or processes, what kind of tool can help you to implement that procedure? Do you need a remote eyes, like someone open a rack and your rack should have a camera to take a picture or video of that person? Or do you have enough supplies or equipment for replacing or doing any maintenance? So all this information should be on your fingertip when you do a remote management. With the right tool, you can get all this information within 5 minutes or even lesser. Without the right tool, you may spend a few days, or that is very time consuming. So next, we have this very simple checklist to help you with, and when you want to implement any remote management. So there is hardware on the left and software on the right bottom. Right. So if you want to monitor or manage the power, the right PDUs that you may need, like outlet monitoring or branch circuit monitoring, busway or inline meters. Or if you want to monitor any hotspot, you'll need temperature, humidity, or airflow sensors. Or if you want remote security, how do you lock the door and who can unlock the door, or any IP cameras needed. And in terms of software-wise, there will be like DSIM, EPMS, and BMS. Which should you go for? Which one do you need the most? And if you want to integrate with ITSM tool, like ServiceNow, BMC Remedy, to implement the workflow or procedures, which tool can be done easily to integrate with your ITSM tool? Okay, the earlier slides I mentioned that the DSIM, EPMS, and BMS is often combined and confused. So if you look at inside the racks, that is what we call white space. If you want to manage the item or the assets inside your racks, you should look for a DSIM tool. But if you want to manage your facilities item, your cracks, chiller, genset, rectifier, you should look for a BMS software. There is also some cross-functional software. Some BMS, they touch on some DSIM or white space, but they are more BMS biased. But some DSIM, they also touch on some BMS solution, but they are more DSIM biased. So it depends, give and take. So next, I would like to show you to some of the very informative websites. Hold on. Okay, we have organized our website to be very informative for our customers, to help them to find the right solution for them. not only promoting our own solution. So in here, in our website, this is our homepage, sunbirddcim.com. So if you want to read through decoy, what is the DCIM software, and what is Edge data center, it's very informative. And if you are looking for tools for managing your data centers, we have this slide for you. You go to resources, top data center tools. Here we are recommending some other software, not from Sunbird. Like if you want to do cloud monitoring, IT system monitoring, let's go into IT system monitoring. These are the IT system monitoring tool that you should be looking for. You should not look for Sunbird when you're trying to do IT system monitoring, right? Or if you're looking for BMS or EPMS tool, these are the software that you should be looking for. Okay. And from here, we also have some videos showing the features of our software into different categorization. So feel free to browse through our website and watch this 2 minutes or 3 minutes video. And we have a lot of case studies, data sheets, and screenshots. And if you need more help to draft your RFP, or what type of information that you need to shop for a DCIM solution, we have this RFP checklist to help you. So from here, you'll know what you should be looking for when you're looking for a DCIM solution. And of course, there's some like showing you some award-winning solutions that we have in the past, almost every year. And recently, we just got this #1 DCIM solution from Data Center Magazines. #2 is Open DCIM. You may check on them, the top 10, and feel free to drop me an email if you have any questions. Right. So we have all the resources here for our customers to go and study and read through. Okay. Let me get back to my slides. Yes. Okay. So if you are good enough and you have found all the right information, if you are looking for a DCIM solution to remotely manage your data center infrastructure, these are the 10 main features that you should be looking at. Like asset management, what do you have, what servers, or what is the size, what are the power utilization from this server, and how are they being connected, from network wise, or even the connectivity, hop to hop connections. How much power are they utilizing, or how to find a stranded power and fully utilize the power in your rack without over provision your servers in the rack. And what kind of energy that you are using in your data centers, or monitoring the PUE or hotspot, or managing the security, the cabinet store. How do you